Hey guys, it's Neil here from the HMO Property Court, and some really interesting news has happened over the weekend, and I thought I'd give you a bit of an update just to see how it's going to affect the market, and more importantly how it's going to affect investing. And I really think it's going to do good things for investing, but not really good things for the market, because the Perth market is already in a bit of a pickle. I'll run through some stats with you in just a minute, but basically if Labour come into power after the election, Labour have said they're going to bring out the Help to Buy scheme, and the Help to Buy scheme is where they take equity in people's properties to help people get into property. And it sounds really good, doesn't it? It sounds like something else that they did about 18 to 24 months ago, which absolutely ruined the market. And, you know, I think it could make the market even worse than it is now, which is a good thing for investors, but not a good thing for people that are trying to get into the market. So basically what happens with the home buyer scheme, or the Help to Buy scheme, is the government will provide 40% of the purchase price of a new home and up to 30% of the purchase price for an existing home. So that means that the eligible person or couple who take the mortgage out on the property will only take a mortgage out on 60 to 70% instead of 80%, which is huge, which is brilliant. And they also only have to put 2% down as a deposit, and there's no LMI, there's no lender's mortgage insurance. So this is going to help everybody in the low wage bracket get into the market. And I've done some quick maths on this. So let's say 450k is a good entry point for a lot of people who are on minimum wage or low wage. So 450k, if the government puts 30% equity into that deal, they'd put 135,000 into the deal, which means you'd be left with 315,000. You'd need to put 2% down on that, and then you'd have a mortgage for the remainder. So the way the government makes their money back is when you sell the property in the future, if they put 30% in and your property's doubled in price, and they're going to take their fair share of that double as well. So it's a good thing. It's going to help people into the market, but this is very, very similar to what happened in 2000 and when did COVID start? 2019, and the government brought out all these new building grants in to try and stimulate the building industry, and it absolutely ruined the market. There's a few other things that I want to go through on this as well. So only for people that have a taxable income of up to $90,000 for individuals and up to $120,000 for couples. They must be Australian citizens and not currently own or have an interest in a residential dwelling. So it's basically for first home buyers, which is good. But I want to show you what happened. And there's obviously caps in different states as well. Poor old Western Australia has been left off the list again, but Western Australia's cap was 500,000. Oh no, here we are. The lowest cap is 550 for South Australia, Tasmania and West Australian cities, and 400,000 for the rest of each state. So we've got a $550,000 cap, which means that's the highest purchase price they can buy in WA. Now, with the HMOs, we can buy established properties for, you know, under 500,000. Anything under 550 really, because once you start buying established properties over $600,000, then the returns start to diminish, and a new build is the much better option for you to put your money into. But this means that more and more people are going to get into the established market, and it's going to create even more pressure on the market than there already is. Now, this is what happened when the last grants kicked in, September 2020. You see there we had sales volume 5396, and then all of a sudden sales volume jumped up. This is on houses, and this is basically where the market started to take off in Perth. You can see there, boom, and we just got that kick, and that kick has not stopped. And we've just had new releases saying that the median house price now is over $600,000 in Perth. It also happened with units as well. Poof, COVID kicked in, all the stimulants came out, and all the stimulus packages, all the stimulus packages came out, and the market took off with the units as well. And the same with the land. So there was the first home buyer grant, there was the home builders grant, and there was the federal there was the home builders WA grant, and there was the federal first home buyers grant. So all up in Western Australia, people could access $55,000 towards the purchase of a new home. And this is why this went crazy here. Now again, the Labour government are saying that they want to put 40% equity into new builds and 30% equity into established properties. So they're leaning more towards the new build thing again. But a lot of people are going to be impatient, and they want to get into established properties. So that means that end of the market, which is already under immense pressure. We went to a home open this morning, and the agent Monday morning had a home open at 9:30 on a Monday morning. And when we went through, we said to the agent, "Oh, why are you open on a Monday?" He said, "Mate, we're that busy at the minute. We don't need to open on a weekend. I've got my weekends off, and I only work Monday to Friday." He said, "I've already had 2 offers on this property. This is the first home open. We're going to see if we can get any more on there to drive the price up." This was in 35 k's south of the CBD. So this is the kind of situation we're in the Perth market. I really don't feel like the statistics of the median house price and sales volume is really reflecting what's going on the ground, because it's absolutely bananas out there right now. There was a property in Bentley at the weekend. There was over 25 people queuing up for the home open 15 minutes before it even opened. I mean, if you're listening from this and you're in Sydney or Melbourne, this might be pretty normal for you, but for us in Western Australia, this is like crazy times. And look, this has also happened as well. So our median selling days, once these stimulus packages came out, dropped off a cliff. We're down to 16 now, 16 days on average to sell a property in Perth. And listings have also dropped off. So there's less stock available, which is why the average time to buy, or the median selling days, have dropped right down. It's also why prices have gone up. It's just simple economics, isn't it? But the problem is we've got more and more people moving back into the state, and no one's building houses fast enough to keep up with the demand of people moving back into the state. There's only very minimal properties available on the market right now. And these are the stats. So this got released yesterday, 1st of May. 8,000 properties on the market 4 weeks ago. So there's actually a few more, like 300 properties have come on the market. But at the same time last year, we had over 900 additional properties on the market. Now, if you went back the same time 2 years ago, this would have been about 12 or 13,000. And REWA, the Real Estate Institute of Western Australia, they say that a healthy, balanced market in Western Australia is between 12 and 14,000 properties on the market for sale. Excuse me. And this here, they say we need between 4 and 5,000 properties on the market for a healthy, balanced market. So they say a 2% vacancy rate is good. We're currently at 0.7% vacancy rate. And nothing's changed in there. Look, the whole idea of me telling you this was, if Labour get into government, they're going to release their Help to Buy scheme. And it's already looking like we are pretty on the way for Labour to get in. They're predicting a hung parliament with Labour. And, you know, I think personally we're going to try and get some more property before this happens. We're going to try and secure some more sites before this happens, because I really believe that this market is going to, this could just go vertical for a while. And there's probably another thing that I'd like to squash as well with the Perth market. So a lot of people believe that Perth is a boom and bust town, and I've found some statistics which actually prove it isn't. All we have is market corrections, and Perth booms when it booms, and then it comes back down, and then it sort of plateaus out a little bit. And look, we've got the stats to show this here. You know, if you'd have bought a house in Perth in the year 2000, you'd have been paying 200,000 for it. If you'd have came back in 2007, 2008, you'd have 2.5x the value of that property. Now, yes, all markets go up and correct and go back up and correct and go back up and correct. Now, this correction that we had in the Perth market was the longest correction we've ever had on record. It's because we have an oversupply of property. We brought in a lot of people into the country for one of the biggest construction booms the state has ever seen. And once the work finished, there was no continuity of work to keep people busy, and the infrastructure wasn't in Perth to support the population growth that we had. And when this went down, the government spent a lot of money on infrastructure, roads, schools, hospitals, the Optus Stadium, Elizabeth's Quay. So they've been spending money in Perth now to keep people here for the next time all the work kicks off. And guess what? That work is kicking off. That work is here right now, and it's happening right now, not just in the normal construction industry, residential building. It's happening right now in the oil and gas industry, the mining industry. This is why our vacancy rate's so low, and this is why it's a great opportunity to buy. Now, I just want to point this out as well. This is the Sydney average dwelling price. This was a Perth average dwelling price. Yes, we had that big spike. Sydney's has been more of a slower climb, but this is since 2012. But look at the corrections. It pushes, it pulls, it pushes, it pulls, it pushes, it pulls. And right now, Sydney's back to 2016, 2017 prices. So markets correct. Markets do correct. Perth has still got a hell of a long way to go. We are basically at the same prices now. I'm just going to go back to that last slide. We're at the same prices now that we were back in 2012 before the correction. Now, we should push, we should kick on. Supply and demand is just one simple economic. Everything else that's going on in the country that needs to bring people back into the state to support the infrastructure upgrades, to support the work, to support everything that's going on in this state right now. It is so hard to find people to fill roles at any business, whether you're in construction, whether you're in nursing. I mean, we need doctors, nurses, engineers. We need everything in this state, and they're coming slowly but surely. So look, let's go back to why I made this video. Labour coming into power, they're going to bring out the Help to Buy scheme. It's going to stimulate the market even more. I believe now is a really, really good time to get in the market. This is not financial advice in any way. This is my personal opinion. But I do believe that once they get into power, and I believe if we check the stats, if we come back and check these stats next week and we see how many properties have sold, I think we'll see some really big movement on this, because I believe people are already back in the market after this news from the weekend, trying to get some bargains before the market takes off. So I hope that helps, guys. If you have any questions, reach out to me anytime. info@thehmopropertyco.com, and I will get back to you whenever I can. Have a good one.